Hey, Shalom Markin, this is Rakama Kapash from GMS London, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful, elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video. Pardon me, I'm going to call this one, Esau is making people hate life, right? And I'm going to cover two facets of this because I've got two different type of examples here, right? And the first one's coming from this YouTube video. I believe bro has posted this in the chat. All right, and I'm not gonna play the whole video. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it just so you get the idea. But people are just feel through. People in this kingdom feel through in it. All right, they're just disenchanted with life. They're just fed up. They're bored. They're sad. They're just they're barely holding their shit together, right? Because the world is so messed up, right? Esau has created, this world that we live in to be so messed up that the people are messed up, all right, and they don't know what to do about it. They're just stuck. They're just stuck, right? In this in this condition that they can't escape, man, and it's causing them to be through in the mind, So I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and then we're gonna move on to the next one and bring some scriptures out, right?
It's the same no more. And what I mean by nothing, I mean like just everything in general. I don't know if it's just me, but nothing hits the same no more. And what I mean by nothing, I mean like just everything in general. Family, friends, friendships,
Phase, by the way,
holidays, just there's not really a specific category I'm just saying life in general just doesn't hit the same no more. Like, I don't know. I feel like after COVID hit, back in 2020, that's when just everything I felt like just went downhill, just with everything in general.
And so all these things that have been happening that Esau's, been doing in the earth, right? Is all to, bring, the world to this mental exhaustion. People are just exhausted in the mind with everything that's been going on, and everything's just declining. There's another video I saw today talk about nightlife in some town in I think it was Ipswich in England, right? It's just died. Everything's just dying, right? And it's not a new phenomenon. Like, I've witnessed it in my own areas, over the last 10 or so years, 20 years, whatever. things just ain't the same. The economy's dying. Everything about this world is dying. All right, and like people are just stuck. They can't get out of this, man. Life is depressing. And I say Esau's had you hooked up on all this entertainment, fucking, YouTube videos and all these different types of things, social media, right? You're just through. You don't know what to do anymore, man. You're just, like I said, nothing really excites you anymore. There's nothing to look forward to. It's all depressing, But there was that dude. What was this other one that was breaking down, bro? Let's see if I can get to her. Another one is breaking down. Where is she? Yeah, this one, she was breaking down, man. Let's see here.
This red is taking longer than I thought. I feel like I've been in a phase of my life right now where I just don't want to show up. Where I'm exhausted, where pulling myself out of this rut is taking longer than I thought, where everything I'm doing, where everything I've done that has worked in the past is not working now, where I'm waking up more exhausted, and to be honest, I just don't feel called to even take care of myself right now.
And a lot of people feel like this. Some people just giving up, man. Some people are just giving up. Like, they just can't bother with it, man. And I feel her pain, man. Because sometimes like, brothers, we feel like that, man. Can't be asked to get up and do nothing, go work, and do anything. Sometimes we feel fucked up. You know what I mean? It's not everybody's feeling it, man. And it's because it's the environment that Esau has created. It's the environment Esau has created, man. These people are fucked up with demons, man. You know what I mean? And these people are they're tired, man. They're tired. They've been exhausted, right? They're being exhausted, man, right? And an exhausted person is a weak individual. Right? Why do I say that? Right? Because you just want a solution, right? And when you're so broken down because everything you try don't fucking work. So it's like, oh, you know, and so you're looking for an answer, you're looking for a solution, and at the point you'll take any solution just to get you out of that that feeling, right? You'll do anything, and this is what Esau wants. He wants a bunch of compliant individuals, right? That's gonna accept his mark when he brings it through, right? These people are exhausted, man. They just want this hell that people live in now. They just want it to stop. And Esau's gonna offer you a better, quote unquote, a better way, right? A different way, a more progressive way, or whatever, right? Through his technology, right? Which is bullshit. It ain't gonna lead to that. You're gonna be more through afterwards. But you know, the WF the WF makes it sound like it's gonna be cool, right? You will own nothing and you will be happy. Like, oh wow, like I'm gonna be happy for one. I'm not, because none of these people are actually happy, right? So maybe they can make me happy. I ain't got to worry about my job. I ain't got to worry about going to work. I ain't got to worry about owning the car, paying the rental on it. I ain't got to pay insurance on it because I ain't got to own one. But I can get access to one because we got to do the whole renting thing, and we're gonna have 15-minute cities, and I ain't got to travel nowhere anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. So he's still gonna package things like this, like make it sound like it's gonna be better for everybody, right? And maybe that's what we need. All right, that's what they're gonna try and convince you with anyway. You know what I mean? Because life sucks and everybody knows it right now, right? So we need to do something different. And like I say, Esau gonna come through with the mark of the beast, trying to tell you that this is the future. It's gonna be better for you.
Oh, everything that I'm doing doesn't seem to be working. I keep coming back to this square one, and I can't make sense of it. I can't. And I want to, and maybe it's not the time yet, but I just want to give up. I want to sit and scream. I've been screaming in my car more. I've been
Losing it.
just like tired. And I can't seem to get out of this rut. And I swear that I'm trying. And even trying looks like stillness, right? Going, taking my breaks. If I don't feel like working out, I won't. But it's like, I'm scared that I might be stuck in this for too long, and I don't want to. I don't know what's happening right now. And to be honest, I don't really care to know. I just don't want to be feeling like this anymore.
You just want to escape the feeling, man. This feeling of being lost. You know what I mean? Of being depressed and just fucked up. Because Esau's made life fucked up for everybody, man. For his philosophies, for these addictions that he puts you on. This superficial lifestyle that he has us living. It's not good for us, man. Ain't no good for nobody. All right, because Esau doesn't live that type of life. He feeds that for everybody else. That's the wine that he passes on to everybody, right? But we're not meant to be living life like this, man. It's unfulfilling. And that's why these people are so messed up, man. And everyone's fighting each other and, whatever, man. That's a product of Esau's world. All right? Let me get a few scriptures first before I touch on the other topic concerning this, right? But let me start off here, right? Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2, right? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And the people are in this mourning state now. We say it all the time, man. And it's because of the leadership. It's because of the management of this earth, which is all thanks to the so-called white man, okay, who is Esau, okay, who is the end of the world, right? It's his methodology to run in this place, right? It's just not compatible with life. Right, so he's made people hate living, man. Hate living. These people don't want to be alive, really. They're tired of living, right? And because this is not how life is supposed to be. Because Esau has taken us so far away from righteousness, and because like I say, he's had the Bible in his hand for such a long time now. He knows what the right things are to do, right? He just doesn't do them because he has no interest in following the laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord, right? But he has them, and he claims to build his society based on them, and he just doesn't do that. And he's taking everyone so far away from those laws, statutes, and commandments, which brings balance to life, which provides life, right? The foundation to life. It provides all of that, right? And Esau is just taking it away and giving you his bullshit, okay, which is sending people crazy. You know, sending people crazy. The whole world is going crazy. You know, right? But again, says, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people will mourn. These people are through, right? Because they've been sold a lie, and that's why they don't understand. They can't understand like why is nothing working, right? Because you've been sold a lifestyle that's just not compatible. You know, it's not expedient for people to live by. You know, and you don't get it. You know, this is Isaiah 29 verse 16. Yeah, let's get the 16. Get the point, right? It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right, Esau's turning everything upside down. Right, he has destroyed the fabric of life. You know, he doesn't promote, you know, the lifestyle that is most productive and most fulfilling for people. Okay, he's turned everything down, man. He's taught you bad things and to go after bad things, and all it ends is death and destruction. You know, these people are destroying themselves, right? So surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Everyone's gonna look back at this thinking, "Wow, this is bugged out, man. What the hell was we doing? What the hell did we let this man convince us to do, like to live like, to be like?" You know, and people are just gonna be like, they're gonna be shaking their heads, man. It's like, fuck, man, like, damn, that was dumb. No wonder. You know, so all this elevation of Esau and his mind, right, and his ideas, his ideals, his philosophies, and all that kind of bullshit. They look down upon that, man. As so they should. This is the worst kingdom to ever exist on the earth in any time, right? And it's going to be looked at as such. All right. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. All right. So yeah, people want to look back at this time as a bad era, as a dark age, right? As a dark age. All right. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, right? Esau's made everybody incredibly self-centered, man, and selfish, egotistical, full of pride, because Esau promotes pride. And I'm not just talking about them flamethrowers, you know, out there on their fucking parades and shit, right? He promotes pride in people, arrogancy, and ignorance. That's what he promotes. You know, so everybody acts the same kind of way. None of these people are really humble out here. You know, and everyone's trying to chase the bags that Esau's throwing around. Like everyone's just trying to make money out here. You know, chasing after mammon. Like these are the things they really worship in this world. Things that satisfy their lusts. Right? The spirituality of this world is gone. You know, especially here in the West, right? Spirituality is gone. That's why there's no Christian. There's no real Christian out here, man. These well, Esau definitely not upholding Christianity. These white churches are dead, like literally dead. Man, are like 90 years old. A couple men that are 90 years old, just waiting for the few last ones to drop. You know, Christianity's been upheld by all the Negro, you know, ethnic people, right? Like this place is finished, man. Right? Because you're not about spiritual, right? You're about carnal desire. And that's what you push people to go after. Right? You put your bottle to your neighbor and then, you know, and laugh. Let me grab it, man. Put bottle. Yeah, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15, right? So woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken. Right? These people are drunk with your philosophies that you sold them. You know, like it's progressive. Um, liberty and all this bullshit. Right? All these things you sold to people to go after is destroying them. Right? That's why these people are just bugging out. While you Edomites at the top, you elites, right? You don't operate the same way, and so you look at looking down at these people. It's just a big joke to you, right? Because you're getting what you want out of it. You want to destroy people through in the mind, easily compliant, right? And the people are just being grinded down, left, right, center, every which direction. They're being grinded down, man. And the Esau's getting ready to pounce, and bring that mark of the beast. All right. So woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness, their shame. Right? Look upon their shame. But back in 2 Timothy chapter 3, said this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous. Right? Let's say everyone just wants what everybody else has got. They're eyeing up people all the damn fucking time on social media. Oh, I want that shit. So these men are going well out their way to go and try and get exactly what they see these other dudes got, bro. And a lot of time, these men are faking the funk. And you got like dickheads like Andrew Tate out there just fucking posturing all day fucking long when he's just a fucking agent. He was giving money. You know what I mean? Telling you what a man should be and all this shit. Like, people were just through, man. People were desperate. This is what desperate people do, man. Right? They go after these dudes, man. Because they can't stand being themselves. They can't stand the situation that they're in. Law teaches us to be content. So whether you got money or you don't you ain't got money or whatever, you deal with the situation you do. You don't make yourself desperate, right? To do these things. That's why people sell out, man. Because they're fucking desperate. Because they lower their standards and their integrity and their morals just to achieve something. Do all kinds of wickedness just to achieve something, man. Okay, well your values are meant to be worth more than that. Worth more than any of these, fiat currencies or whatever, right? You're meant to uphold that at all times. But people are cheap out here because they're desperate, because they don't want to be. They see themselves as something more than what they currently are, and they want to, it's their pride. They can't stand it no more. I got to do this. I'm somebody. I got to be somebody. And so they do whatever it is that they have to do, right? We know how that goes, right? For them to become rich or whatever, doing wicked ass shit, right? But anyway, covetous, boasters, proud, right? I mentioned that pride, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, right? Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, right? These men talk shit to, because you ain't doing it on my level, you just mad because you ain't got money and I got money, bro. Hey, maybe some men are haters, not saying that there's no haters out there for people. Of course, there's gonna be, but it can't be all the time that these men hate on you because just because you got money. Like for us, we don't give a fuck about money like that. So we couldn't give a damn. But if you're going off and you're being wicked and talking wicked shit, then bro, you're off. You know what I mean? You ain't right. You're gonna get cursed out. You're gonna get rebuked. All right. To despise those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Right. And this is the society that we're living in right now. Nobody cares what God has to say. No one cares about what's written in the Bible. Everybody's just go, fulfill the lust, get pleasure, get the dopamine hit. Right. But the dopamine hit is so violent, right? So often now, everything that you're doing, you've become numb to everything. You've become numb to everything, man. Yeah, that spice it ain't kicking no more. Right? You've been shoveling too much down spice, I mean, actually, no, food spices, right? You've been showing so much spice, and you know the levels of heat have gone up and gone up and gone up, but you're just numb to it all now. You've stimulated yourself. You know, so nothing's hitting no more. Like the guy said at the beginning, nothing's hitting no more, right? And now life is just dull when it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be dull, right? But because we live the same, you know, cyclical lives, you know, you just rinse and repeat all the damn time. Go work, go sleep, go eat. You know, the guys in this video, they speak about it. You know, that's what it's like. You just go through the motions over and over and over again. You know, it becomes dull, right? But life isn't really meant to be like this, because it's really not meant to be so fast paced in reality. But Esau's, you know, he just industrialized everything, including your dopamine hits. All right, so now you're just through. All right. Says traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Right, and this is why the Lord has taken us out of the world. Right, we're not on the same type of shit that these men are on. And yeah, you know, we suffer the same, you know, some similar certain things that these people in the world suffer from. Yeah, sure, because we're all exposed to Esau's bullshit. But you know, we have grounding. Okay, we're not bugging out. We have grounding, right? These scriptures give us grounding. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Right? It gives us grounding, man. So it's not like we're not through. You know, we're not through like that. We're just tired of Esau's bullshit. Like, we want this thing to be over. We want Yahweh to come and destroy this kingdom, put these men in slavery, and put us on top. That's what we're waiting for. Okay, but you know we're told or required to be patient. So that's what we do. We understand that we have to endure these things, and you know, but knowing it's coming to end gives us hope. So you know, we're not bugging out. These men don't see hope. These men, they just see the cycles, and it's just going to repeat until men are dead. So they're in despair right now, you know. But for us, we have hope. We know this is going to come to an end, and Esau's going to get his funky ass out of here and his bullshit, you know. That's what I want from this. So let me touch on the other aspect. Should I do it now? Let me get a couple more. Right, then I'll get the other one, right? So Isaiah 24 verse 4. Let's see. Let me start from 3, right? So the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, right? The prideful people, they languish. People are languishing, man. They're falling apart, right? So the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants of it, right? Because there's more and more wickedness being perpetrated by these individuals, by these people out here, right? Because Esau promotes you to do more, right? So because they have transgressed the laws, because Esau's not enforcing the laws of the scriptures, he enforces his own laws, and a lot of these laws don't consider the scriptures. Let's just be real about it. Yeah, don't murder. You can't murder here. You know, there might be a couple that he upholds sort of when he wants to, right? But generally, you know, he doesn't push the scripture, the laws in the scriptures. That's why you're allowed to just be an adulterer. No punishment, no recompense for that at all. Yeah, unless you're, you know, married by the state, right? There's paper documents, right? And then there's complications, you know, there's legal battles and whatever, but nothing compared to the scriptures. You know, man will get put to death, man or woman will get put to death for doing these types of things, but not here. It's not that serious here. But yeah, so before any of that legal marriage shit, you could be as much an adulterer as you want in this world. No one gives a shit. You know, it might be be a bit distasteful to some people, obviously people that it happens to, but generally nothing happens. Unless my man wants to get his get back and someone gets smoked. But Esau's not going to do nothing about it. He don't care. You do what you want. Do as thou will, right? That's his thing. So he ain't going to do nothing about that. When it comes to money involved, though, he's going to be all up in that, because people are going to have to, people have to get paid. Right? But he doesn't uphold the laws of the scriptures. All right? So, that's what it is here. So, So the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, right? Changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenants. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left, right? So this curse is only talking about the missiles and everything that's going to destroy America, right? It's going to destroy a whole bunch of people in America, right? But there's a whole bunch of curses that the Most High has brought upon this earth as part of the plagues and the punishments, the judgment that He's bringing. Right, and the fact that these people are through is all part of this, man. These people are living in despair right now, and they just can't get out. You know, they're continuously anxious. You know, the Lord is plaguing their minds, right? Plague of the heart. It's a real thing, right? The Most High put curses upon you, man. Plague your heart, plague your mind. Heart. Right, Sirach 25 and 13, right? Okay, let me read from verse 12, right? So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love, right? Which I said, no one out here really fears the Lord, right? And faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him, right? Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, okay, which is the mind, right? So Sirach is saying, look, he'll take any plague, right, over having the plague of the mind, right? Being bugged out and crazy and shit. But just being in despair is terrible too, bro. You might not feeling what they call that, suicidal and shit. You know, it's a messed up state to be in. You know, to feel that down low that you don't know what to do yourself no more, and you just think like maybe ending it all is is the best option, right? But you're not meant to be feeling like that. You know what I mean? It's Esau. Esau brought you to this point where you're feeling like that because of how he's made life and how he's destroying your life around you, leaving you with very few options, very, very little hope to change anything. All right? So give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, right? We know what women are like these days, right? For the most part. All right? So yeah, they've gone wild, man. They've been let loose. Esau let them loose with the power of liberty. Liberty and freedom. All right. Where am I now? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. I'll start from the top, right? So remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Right? And we're in the evil days, man. It's just, we're not in the deeps of it yet. Right? It says, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right. So, like I mentioned before, Esau's bringing these people to the knees, basically, man. Esau is attacking so much of people's lifestyles, their work, their jobs, their their private lives, their I mentioned that the dude, another video with the dude in Ipswich, talking about there's no life no more. There's nothing going on, right? Everything's being downgraded. Everything's been made worse, right? Everyone's been made poor and broke. People losing jobs. People are just feeling pressured, man, and they can't seem to get out of it. And every guy out there's got some YouTube video telling you about how you could be a millionaire easy or whatever, and it's just that it don't fucking work like this, man. And people are just disheartened, bro, because they really just want to get out and they can't get out. Esau's got them stuck. In depression. You know what I'm saying? So that's because of all these things that are happening. All right, because this world is dying. This kingdom is dying. Right, and people could feel it. That pressure. All right. So let me get the other other instances, right? If you load up. All right, so this is a post on X, right? And it says here, having children doesn't make you happy. Becoming a parent provides no boost to well-being, study claims, right? So now he's all got study researchers out there studying or trying, get results for, whether it's worth having children or not, right? So children in this world is become a burden, right? And a natural part of life, again, natural part of life is for people to have children to continue the human race, right? This is just a natural part of what we must do as living organisms to sustain our existence, right? But now you're being told that, because it doesn't make you happy, especially now it won't make you happy because obviously Esau's, like I said, putting more and more pressure. It becomes a burden, right? But because it doesn't make you happy, you shouldn't have them because this is all about yourself now. Esau's made it about yourself and fulfilling your own lusts and fulfilling your own desires, right? So if it don't make you happy, why do it? So Esau's convincing people not to have children, amongst other things that he's doing to help you prevent you having children, which I won't go into right now, but brothers know, right? But Esau mentally is messing with people to make them not want children. That's kind of fucked up. It's kind of fucked up, right? Because Esau hates life. Esau hates life. So he's going to make you hate life too. He's going to make you hate life too, man. Right? And he wants your existence to stop. Right? Because this can't be an answer. So what does it say? It says it provides no boost to well-being, study claims, but it does ruin your relationship. Right? So then what's the point? If everyone just wants to be happy, then why have children then? Because obviously, we know it's not easy. Everyone's got children. No, it's not easy. Right? But it can't be like to the extent where like having no children, like nobody should have children because it's not doesn't make you happy, right? If we all had that mindset now, right, we would be extinct before we know it, bro. That can't be an answer, bro. What about we change the conditions of the world, innit? So life, being a parent and bringing life into the world isn't so fucking hard. How about that? No, that's not Esau's answer to that, because how life is now is fine. I've created a perfect utopia of life that everybody can thrive in. It's just children now. Children are the problem, bro. Children are meant to be a blessing of the Lord, right? It's part of our prime functions on the earth is to reproduce, and it's like, nah, you don't need that. Because Esau don't believe in sex and having children anyway. He just wants to be a robot and upload himself into a new robot in the future. That's what he wants. Because he's a batty boy. So yeah, but this is the kind of mindfuckery and the wine that he's pushing on people, right? Because he's made the world so unbearable that it's not worth bringing life into the world, man. Because it's so fucked up. This world is so fucked up. Because this is the other aspect of it. People are scared to bring children into the world because it's so messed up. They're so broke, they can't support another life, a child or whatever, and the world is so messed up. But who made it like that? Esau. And so that's in conjunction with the other stuff that he's doing to reduce population and all that kind of stuff, right? Bro. He's made life unbearable, and this is why people are mourning. All right, and it's funny because after I saw this, when I started the camera just now, on this video, the comment here that's just here, right? That's up here. It says, "I am 65, happily retired, smoke weed all day, right? And I've never been prouder of my child-free life." Bro, these people are through in their mind, bro. So what? So this individual here, he's currently happy because he's got no dependents to look after and that, right? So he's just living for himself, that selfish lifestyle. He's living for himself, right? So it seems great. But then you get old now. It's like, I ain't feeling too well right now. But you get old now, and you're gonna wish you had children around you, bro. Because no one else is gonna be caring about your ass. right? But what do you do about your progeny? You mean you, like your existence or your yeah, your progeny, you're yeah, right? It just stops with you. And that's it. Like you just die out. Bro, it's ridiculous. The idea of it is ridiculous. Knowing that's something that's like essential for mankind to reproduce. You know, but like I said, these people they've been destroyed in the mind. You know, this guy's smoking weed all day, bro. It's like, whoa, these people are messed up, man. All right. Let me get some scriptures down. Right, so back to the book of Sirach, right? But chapter 25, verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. All right, so these things are meant to make a person, a man, even a woman, a mother happy. It used to be a thing where if a woman couldn't have children, man, she was kind of depressed, man. She didn't feel complete, right? Esau's kind of flipped that around now. It's like now women, women don't feel complete unless they got a career and shit, and children is some sort of icky thing to talk about because they're nothing but burdens, and I just want to be free without responsibility. That's what these women crave for now. They just want to live a life without responsibility. And so they look down upon these things that restrain them. Right? Because that's what Esau's taught them. That's what it is. It's something restraining you. So there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children. Right? Children are meant to be a joy unto you. But we understand that in this world it's so messed up. It's hard. It's hard to take joy in your children, man, because the world is so fucking scary, and they're having to grow up in the world and navigate it and shit. You don't know what the fuck they're going to turn out like. You could be Magic Johnson's son, right? And oh boy, yeah, I don't know how I'd cope with that. I do not know, but yeah, or your child could be in a gang and get knifed up, could be fucking kidnapped. There's so much going on in this world, right? It is kind of scary to raise children up in order. It's true, but like I said, Esau is the one that's created this environment for us to feel this way, with all this fucking anxiety and shit, right? So yeah, I understand. We understand this, but the answer can't be just not have children. It's mad, right? Because that's like I say, it's a blessing from the Lord. These things are meant to be good things for us, things to celebrate, and these people are just off their own volition opting not to have children, man, because either they're scared or they're selfish, bro. That's all it's coming down to really these days. It's crazy, right? But they're meant to be a joy unto you, right? So the man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy, right? So we're gonna get us brothers. We're gonna get the joy out of that one when it happens, man. We're gonna get the joy of our children in the kingdom, because we're gonna have an environment where our children can grow, be raised up the right way, right? Have the right mentality and be safe. Here, yeah, it's kind of messed up. All right, but like I said, it's because Esau hates life, man. He doesn't provide the environment for life because he's destroying everything. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, and this verse 4 in particular. But these are the blessings of the Lord gave to the Israelites, right? Which other nations should be able to experience to some degree, right? To have joy over children, all these different types of things. It's not exclusively to Israel, but the Lord gave us a larger portion than everybody else, far, far larger, right? But you should be able to still experience these things in its in its lots. You know what I'm saying? But this is what was told unto us, right? It says, right, this is only Israel, verse 1 concerning Israel, right? This is in particular to us, right? It shall come to pass that if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe and do all these commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, right? That's exclusively Israel, right? That's what we're going to receive. No one else can receive that at all, right? right? Because every nation gets blessings from the Lord, essentially, right? You get a good crop, it's a blessing, right? The Lord did that. You have a child, the Lord gave you that child. The Lord is behind all things. So if you receive these things, the Lord gave it to you, right? The Lord gives everything to everybody, right? So let me carry on, right? And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Again, speaking on Israel. Blessed thou shalt be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field, right? We're going to be extremely good no matter where we are, whether we live in rural lives, whether we live in urban lives, whatever. Everything's we're going to be blessed wherever we are on the earth, basically, right? But this is the point I already wanted to get to. Verse 4, right? Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, i.e., our children. This is the blessing the Most High is giving us because it's meant to be a blessing. To have children is meant to be a blessing. To make one a strong nation, it's meant to be a blessing, right? But Esau, like I said, he's turned that upside down. Now it's a problem. He'll tell you, oh, there's too many people on the planet now, so we need to stop having children and all this kind of stuff, right? He makes it sound like it's a burden, a great evil to have children. That's what he makes it seem like. Why he gobbles up all the fucking resources on the planet and tells you there's not enough. You know what I mean? Why he has posterity to pass on his wealth and his all this fucking bullshit, his companies, corporations, whatever. He has children to pass them on to, but he's saying you can't have children to pass nothing on to. Shit, you ain't even got nothing to pass on to because he's taking everything from you already. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. It's just Esau. He's created this environment that makes you hate life and hate producing life. So again, blessed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of the ground and the fruit of thy cattle and an increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep, right? So that was the point, right? But everybody should be able to enjoy their children, but not in Esau's world. All right, not in Esau's world, man. It's supposed to be a blessing, but it's not under Esau's rulership. All right. This is Psalms 127, and let's get a point in 3, right? It says, lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, Yahweh, and the fruit of thy womb is his reward, right? It's a blessing, it's a reward, it's a gift, right? As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth, right? So the more children you got, the more blessed you really are, basically. But not in this world, right? So I'll tell you, no, yeah, that's bad, that's wrong. That's how he'll put you off or dissuade you from having children. That's his thing, So again, as arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of the youth, right? Happy, the more arrows a mighty man's got, the better he's going to do in the battle, right? Take down more guys. He's going to survive longer, You give a man one arrow to go to the battlefield, bro, he ain't coming back. He's got 1 million in his quiver now, bro. He's going to be taking down all kind of guys. You're better off with more, right? And this is what it's saying, right? As the arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of the youth. Happy is the man that have his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed. But here in this world, you're ashamed to have, to want or have bear children. A woman just wanting children. There's a whole group of women out there that shame these women for wanting to live the typical, housewife role. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right? It says, they shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. All right? Pardon me. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that move upon the earth, right? So again, God blessed them, right, and gave them commandment to multiply, to be fruitful and multiply, right? Having children is just a natural cycle of life. Okay, but Esau again is trying to put a stop to that because he's got his whole transhumanism thing that he's working on. That's the future as he sees it. That really don't include everybody, right? It don't really include everybody, because we know the Jordan Guidestones talk about maintaining the world's population down to, what was it, 500 million? There's a whole 8 billion people on the planet right now, man. And so there has to be a shift. And so it's in his interest to get to fulfill his agenda, to dissuade you, to, do all this other extra stuff through various means. I'll put you to Mr. Gates for that. All these different things he's doing to reduce population, convincing people to be flamers and, as they don't actually become real parents, because they're batty boys. So, things like this, this is what Esau's doing, right? Because he's the devil, right? So, but it's supposed to be this is supposed to be a natural cycle of life that Esau's trying to put a stop to ultimately, because he thinks he's gonna survive in a fucking data chip, right? He's gonna survive in a data chip and just transfer himself into something else, right? In these robotics and shit, right? Because he's a madman. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let's see. That's off on the top, right? So now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord Yahweh your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land where you go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God Yahweh, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, and all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged, right? So it's important that we're able to pass on things to the next generation, our progeny, right? You can't pass on shit if you don't have children, and you won't endure. You will fade away. Like my dude smoking weed all day, 65. He's gonna fade away. I mean, it's probably good. It's probably a good thing. He's just gonna fade away, progeny. It's probably a good thing. But ideally, as a human being on the earth, you want to carry on the seed line, right? But obviously, some men don't. They're very was it nihilist or something like that? If I got that correct. They're just like yeah, they're not pro life, man. All right, but yeah, it says for that thy days may be prolonged, right? So you want to keep existing, forever. You're gonna have to have children, bro. But like I said, Esau doesn't promote that. Esau promotes death ultimately, and this is why he won't even uphold the law, even though he has it in his possession. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Right. So what we got on the earth right now is the ways of death being promoted by Esau. Right, his living standards or whatever. Right, and the scriptures. I mean, the Lord, teaching the scriptures, teaching you the true way to life. Right, to life and prosperity. These people are down and out and sad and shit because they're living under the Esau's rulership and after his ways, which don't bring nothing. He brings death and destruction, and these people are destroyed. Right, but coming back to the Heavenly Father and to live His ways the way it's supposed to be brings life. Right, and that's it. There's more to life and ways to enjoy life that Esau he don't promote, because he doesn't promote the ways of the Heavenly Father. All right. Like I said, this world that we're living in is so fast paced, man. And we're not going to be really living life like that. All this technology that we got, knowing too much, about each other's business and shit. All these different ideologies and philosophies that Esau has pushed out there into the world, bro. We're not meant to be living under that type of shit. Right? It's just making people more selfish, more covetous, and more displeased with life. Right? And I say Esau's attacking the basics and the foundations of living. Right? Don't have children, or you can't work, you ain't got a job, everyone's got to live off benefits. That's not how we're meant to be living. It's not how we're meant to be living, man. Get grinded into the dirt, can't own your own land, can't do shit. Living door to door with each other, your neighbors living above you, side to side of you. Bro, we're not limited living on that. It's just stress. It's extra stress. But this is how Esau's got his living. Okay. So this, this way that we're living is the way of death, basically. And and I bet you, some of these guys, that appeared on the video, or whatever. I reckon some of them, I thought about it plenty of times, just to end it. Especially that woman at the end, man. She lit through. One more before I go. Matthew 24, verse 22. So that except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, right? So it's like we say, if Esau was allowed to continue ruling, for, I don't know, an X amount of time, it would be 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever, right? Whatever, whatever that number you would give, probably wouldn't even take that long, right? But these people would be so through, right? Like I said, they'd be topping themselves, man. They'd be, deleting themselves off the scene because they're just too depressed, right? Esau got them too depressed, and had them operating under this anti-life formula, right? Populations would be dropping like crazy because that's what he wants anyway, right? And most of mankind will go fucking extinct. And like I said, you have a few robots out there with these elites, the elite chips in them or whatever, and that'll be it, man. There'll be no flesh left. And even then, like you say, even then he'll destroy himself by the end of it, because everything that he does leads to death. All right, so the Lord has to turn up. He has to intervene because this is how it would end, right? So the Lord is shortening the days for the elect's sake, so we wouldn't suffer those things that would eventually happen if he was to carry on ruling, So this is why the Lord's gonna intervene now, and it's not gonna be in another 1,000 years, where we're going through a few more cycles of this shit. The Lord's like, no, this is the last one, man. Esau has gone as far as he's gonna be allowed to get with it, and I'm pulling my elect out of this place now. That's what it is. Because I say his trajectory on how life would be, it like I said, it just ends in death. And everybody's already bugging out. And it's only going to get worse. But that's what it's like to live under Esau. Right? So, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this has been edifying. And I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.